I'm really happy. I mean, I'm a Scorpio, so my moods change with the weather, but I feel like overall I'm really in a great place.
Miranda Lambert has a lot of new in her life. A new husband, a new tattoo, and a new album out Friday called Wild Card. In this week's issue of People, Miranda says the album is more upbeat than what she's done in the past, explaining, quote, "I definitely celebrated joy a lot more than I have before."
And she adds that it symbolizes the strength of getting through life's obstacles. She was also inspired by the backdrop of New York City and shares how the vibe of NYC impacted her artistic process.
New York City has this creative energy that's all around you all the time when you're here, if you're open to it. And I think just being happy makes you a little more open to the world around you. I like to leave New York too, don't get me wrong. It's great for about 3 days. It's an interesting place, but it's not a full-time place for me. It's not somewhere that I could just be all the time, but I definitely can come in and get spurts of like 2, 3, 4 days of energy and creativity, and then go back to the farm.
Now, inspiration for Wildcard isn't the only thing Miranda found in the Big Apple. It's also where she met her husband, Brendan McLaughlin. So the two married in January, 3 months after meeting outside of Good Morning America, where he was on duty as a New York police officer.
Yeah, the move shocked many fans, drew some skepticism, but here's what Miranda had to say about their quick union. Quote, "I feel like I've been through enough in my life to know what I don't want, so when I know what I do want, I snatch it right up."
She also says she wanted to keep her new marriage quiet at first because of how her openness has hurt her in the past, making a reference to her very public relationship with BlakeShelton. She says, "I was married before and it was a huge wedding and everything was very public. So was my divorce. I learned then that it's not for everybody else." And she adds, "This is my actual life. With Brendan, I made it a point to keep it as private as I could for as long as I could."
When the couple secretly tied the knot, there were no bridesmaids, groomsmen, or fanfare. She says, "That was my moment and his. It's one of those lessons I'm learning to take some things for myself. I'm glad we had a moment to really bond and get close before the chaos started."
And while Miranda admits the constant glare of public scrutiny can take its toll, she says Brendan takes it like a champ, adding he's better at it than she is.
Brendan's currently taking leave from the police department, and the pair have been inseparable as he joins her on the road. Miranda is grateful for the company and is really trying to enjoy this stage of her life. Watch.
There's a lot of new in my life. I love having new music, and that gives so much more excitement to the tour too, because I can play new stuff and it just sort of, I don't know, makes us a little more refreshed. And also having my husband there beside me is a totally new thing for both of us, but it's been great and we're having a blast. So, you know, I'm just trying to embrace all the good things. I've had ups and downs in my life like we all do, but you just got to make sure you enjoy the high when it's there. I'm trying to enjoy a little more and not rush through everything, because I feel like when you're in your 20s and early 30s, you sort of like moved. Plus, I mean, being a musician, you have to move on to the next a lot. I mean, I wake up in a different city every day on tour, so I'm just used to the fast pace and chasing the next thing, which I think is healthy too, but sometimes it's okay to just sit and relax and be in your world. My manager's always telling me, sit in your life, like, and it's true. And I think that helps with everything. It's a little more of a restful place than a chaotic place, and I think that shows in all parts of your body.
Speaking of new things, though, Miranda has got some new ink. Her 7th tattoo is just above her wrist on her right arm. She says it represents a lot of things in her life, explaining, quote, "It's about making sure I know that I'm the queen of my own heart." I love that.
I do too, but some other things that reign in Miranda's heart, watch this.
Food, husband, and dogs, not necessarily in that order. And maybe Tito's.